Hey everybody, Joel, Moose Droppings by Import Sauce. This is it, the 100th video on the channel. Figured we'd do something a little bit different on this one, so stick around. We're gonna give you a little history, where we started, where we've been, where we are now, and where we're going. I've been putting this video off for a while, thinking, I gotta get the car running, I gotta get down, find a good spot, maybe a garage, maybe a backdrop. And so it's taken months to get something up. So I figured what better way is we'll just shoot it, right? We'll just shoot it. Rather than sitting down like we normally do, we'll just take a stroll around the neighborhood. So 100th video. Started as Import Sauce, right? So Moose Droppings is underneath importsauce.com, which started a few years ago, and that was primarily a website to help feature people's builds and vehicles, and provide a website and a channel shell to put automotive content up. And we have done that, right? The content on the YouTube channel didn't really line up with the website. The website is featuring vehicles, and while we did have a tech section, product reviews, things of that nature, it was getting heavily skewed towards Volvo content, obviously, because, you know, we own a ton of Volvos. So after a while, we decided and we realized, hey, most of our viewers and most of our followers, subscribers, all that are Volvo owners, and decided to kind of rebrand the channel. I don't know, towards the end of last year is when you may have noticed that it switched from Import Sauce YouTube channel to the Moose Droppings channel. If you've been with us since the beginning, you know, it's been a couple of years. You probably found us or subscribed because of the Volvo content, and we're glad that you are still here. Everyone's still supporting. On that, I mean, I think when the channel started, I had long hair. It's been completely shaved down to razor, and it's, you know, growing back again is how long that it's been. So anyways, yeah, what did we start Import Sauce YouTube as? Again, the channel was just to house content, to get it up. Moose Droppings took over. We deleted maybe about 4 or 5 videos, not much, that wasn't Volvo content related. And, you know, still had most of our primary videos up there. Import Sauce channel, 14 days after we changed the name, we were able to grab the handle for Import Sauce on YouTube again. That is a channel that is sitting there. We have some plans for that. We have different plans for the Moose Droppings channel. So Moose Droppings, let's talk about that, since that's where we're at now. 100th video, right? This thing's, you're watching this, and you'll notice it's been dormant, the channel, for a little while, just because we wanted to get this up. Now that this is up, we have dozens and dozens of Volvo content that's already been recorded, and just sitting there ready to get an edit and ready to go up on the channel. So we got a lot of P1 stuff, have a lot of P2 stuff, some P3 stuff with the XC60, the V70, obviously the S40. So all of that new content is sitting aside. A lot of different things, maintenance things, custom things. A lot of you are following the Ultimate T5 engine rebuild. We have a couple videos on that are still up. Vehicle is very close to being running, but as you saw in the other videos, up here in the winter, you cannot do anything. So after 5 months of the car either sitting under snow or it just being too cold to go out there and wrench, we are chasing down the final gremlins. The car's running. It has, as of yesterday, 18 miles on that engine, which is mostly me just driving around this neighborhood and kind of spot checking things, chasing down some last final timing and compression issues, which are all documented. So that series is going to come to completion. you know, a lot longer than what we anticipated. So after that, we have some new videos that we're planning as well. This is going to be Volvo specific car features, so kind of in line with what we did originally with importsauce.com, featuring cars. There's a big community here in Southern California and a ton of friends that we've met on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on the forum, Sweet Speed. And what we want to do is get out there and do some meet and greets videos, so that you guys can see some of the owners, some of their builds, see what they're doing, and kind of feature their Volvo rides and their builds. So we're working on getting a production schedule for that and getting that going as well. For the Import Sauce channel, we already have about 60 videos planned. That channel is going to be completely different in terms of, it will be car related content, but again, it's not really going to mirror the website, because the website is featuring vehicles. This is going to be more automotive related stories, just kind of really lighthearted, easy to watch stuff, some jokes, and you know, just some lessons learned, I guess. So those are in queue, but again, you know, the moose droppings is kind of the priority at this point, and the ton of footage that we already have shot. That's where we're at with those two channels. In terms of a few house cleaning items, we wanted to say on a lot of our videos, we'll say, hey, you know, this is sponsored by, this is brought to you by, things like that. We wanted everybody to know that, you know, the Small Moose Droppings Import Sauce team, even though we do have, let's say, quote unquote sponsorships, we're not getting paid for any of this stuff, right? Let me see if you guys can get a view here of the lake. Is it too dark? Kind of. So again, you know, we may say sponsorships, we may say things of that nature, but in fact, there's no pay, there's no paychecks coming through, there's no ad revenue, there's none of this. A lot of the times the sponsorships will specifically be, you know, if we're doing a build, we may get discounted parts, we may get something like free shipping, we may get a custom bundle on parts that we're buying. But all of the parts, everything that you're seeing in all the videos, especially the M66 swap, the T5 engine forged internals build, that's all out of pocket, right? But we put the content up, and we just like to shout out the people who helped us out with those partial sponsorships. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers in the last year, YouTube sent us a thing, hey, you can put ads, you can do this and that, and you know, we decline that. We're not trying to generate or make any money off of you know, you guys having to watch an ad on our videos. So just wanted to let that be known, that sometimes if you know, it may not be the best parts, it may not be the best this or that, but at the end of the day, we're having to pay for everything. So but we're still building the vehicles and doing the things that we would do, you know, as if we weren't doing it. The channel, another thing to note is you know, production value on a lot of the videos. So originally, when we were off the mountain, we would set up tripod and we'd set up mics, maybe some lighting, things of that nature. But as we get going, and up here, 6,200 feet, you know, there's 5-6 months less in the year that you can work on a vehicle, especially without a garage. So crunching that timetable, we have a lot of content and a lot of things that we have to squeeze in. And so, you know, we're not always setting up the tripod. We're not always going for that full production. The editing, you may notice that, you know, it's a little lighter than sometimes what it used to be. So it's not that we don't care about the quality, but at the same time, filming and putting these videos up takes a lot of time. And again, we're not getting paid for it, but we do want the content to get up and we want to share it with people. So we don't set up the DSLR much. Tripod doesn't come out. Crazy mics. A lot of the stuff now is just being shot with this iPhone special edition, you know, my 2016. And, you know, we understand, but we figure, hey, it's better to get it out. A lot of the how-tos, a lot of the overviews, than to not do it at all. But it does take a lot of time, because anything that you wrench on, add 4 times the time. Sometimes it's easier to say, man, it's easier just to wrench this and you know, not film it. But we always try to at least get something up so that other people can see it, which is, you know, the big influence with like Michael Halleck. When I started off with this vehicle over 10 years ago, the P1, you know, it was his channel and his quick how-tos that really got me a foundation and an understanding of the vehicle and kind of put me where I am today. So I kind of feel like, you know, as he put the time in to help others out, that, you know, we try to do the same over here, you know, because people now and, you know, 10 years from now, we're going to be looking up how to do stuff on these vehicles. And we already know that there's kind of a shortage of Volvo related stuff out there. Let's see. Got some notes here. What else do we got on there? Yep, covered that. And, oh yeah, well, that's pretty much the main topics. The big thing may not apply to most, but we are planning later this year, towards the end of summer, a what I'm calling like a Volvo Day event. So it's gonna not just necessarily be like a car show. We're planning on a multiple day event with a flat fee that just covers costs. It's gonna be easy if you're in Southern California to make the drive. It's gonna be somewhat centrally located. We're thinking maybe something up here in the Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear, California area. Thinking about renting out a big venue that can accommodate it, because there's no really exclusive Volvo gatherings or shows or anything like that. Obviously, IPD had their big garage sale this last weekend, and that's a big draw, but for a lot of folks down here in Southern California, that's a bit of a drive, especially in the condition that, you know, I don't know how much everyone trusts their Volvos. I don't know if I would take mine. You know, maybe I would. So we're looking at that. That's going to be announced on here as well. And if that is successful, then what we plan on doing is just kind of traveling that around. So maybe having 2 or 3 of those Volvo Day events a year. And maybe, you know, one here on the West Coast, and then maybe one, you know, middle of the country, maybe one on the East Coast, something like that. Finding local partners who can help us set it up. And in line with the channel, you know, there's not going to be any money that we're going to make on that. It's just going to be, hey, let's cover costs. Let's get the Volvo family out. Let's get them together, you know, and do something, because there's an underrepresentation of Volvos and that at car meets and clubs, and we know there's enough of you out there that we can all get together and talk about all the times that we break down and all the crap that falls off our cars. So again, 100th video. Everyone that's been here since the beginning, thank you. New faces, thanks. We're gonna keep putting it up, and you know, main goal is to just make sure that hopefully it helps people out, provide some value in that sense. So without further ado, let's start, and here's to another 100.